My beloved child, I invite you to rest in my everlasting arms, for I see your deepest hopes and fears, and I am here to embrace you with my gentle presence, guiding you toward steadfast faith and unwavering love, even when shadows threaten to hide my light. I have seen your loneliest moments and your silent tears, and I assure you that I will not let you walk this journey alone, for I am closer to you than your very breath, and I will sustain your heart in every trial you face. Trust in my perfect timing, for I weave all things together for the good of those who cling to me in hope, and I promise that nothing can pluck you from my hand. I am your guardian and your tower of refuge, and I will shield you from every storm that seeks to steal your peace, reminding you that you are called by my name and surrounded by my holy angels. Do not fear what tomorrow may bring, for I have already gone before you, preparing a path of blessings and breakthroughs that exceed anything you could ever imagine, and I delight in showing you my boundless mercy. Remain in my love, for in that sacred place you will discover an endless fountain of healing and joy, carrying you far beyond every obstacle that rises up to test your faith. I see the spark of hope within your soul, and I nourish it with my promises, whispering constantly that you are precious to me, created with purpose and destined for greater things than you currently see. Remember that my kindness knows no limits, and I invite you to step boldly into my light, confident that I will never turn you away. Take courage, for I am with you, and your tomorrow shall radiate with the brilliance of my unfailing compassion, beckoning you onward with the certainty of my heavenly care. You are cherished beyond measure, and I have crafted you with a splendor that reflects my own handiwork, for you are like a priceless gem shining in the midst of darkness, glimmering with the beauty of my tender affection. I know the strength of your heart and the zeal of your spirit, and I rejoice when you draw near to me in prayer, for your every breath is a melody of devotion that pleases my eternal heart. Do not doubt your worth, for you are like a uniquely formed vessel, fashioned to carry my grace to places no one else can reach, and I am proud of the gifts I have placed within you. I delight in watching you rise each day, determined to love and serve, choosing to walk in hope even when the path seems uncertain, for I know the hidden potential that lies deep in your being, waiting to be unleashed for my glory. Never think you are small, for I have enlarged your territory and anointed you to bear fruit that will endure. And I dance over you with singing whenever you lift your heart to me, trusting that my loving kindness is enough to fill your emptiness. Stand firm in the truth that you are my child, esteemed in my eyes and embraced with an everlasting hug of acceptance, because your identity in me can never be destroyed. Breathe in my peace and exhale every worry that weighs you down, for I am the architect of your dreams, the potter who molded you with my own hand, and I take pleasure in how I have formed each detail of your soul. I assure you that I never look away from you in disappointment, but rather I gaze upon you with an affectionate smile, always longing to see you flourish in the garden of my tender compassion. Hear my voice declaring once more, you are incredibly precious, set apart for my purposes, and I delight in the fragrance of your devotion. I know the ache of your heart when burdens press so heavily that you can hardly breathe, and I witness the tears you hide from the world when life becomes overwhelming. But rest assured, I am with you, and I feel your pain. Do not carry your load alone, for my arms are strong to uplift, and my shoulder is broad enough to bear each anxiety, each doubt, and each sorrow that weighs you down in the darkest hours. I call you to lay your struggles at my feet, because I care for you more than you can possibly understand, and I promise that I will not allow your heart to remain wounded forever. Listen to my gentle call to come and find refuge when fears swirl around your mind, telling you that you are not enough. for I am the firm anchor that keeps you steady in the storm. In the moments when you feel isolated and misunderstood, recall that my eyes are always upon you, and I hold your every tear with an undying affection, never turning away from your silent cries. Though the valleys of despair can seem endless, remember that I am your light, and I will not abandon you to wander aimlessly in confusion. Allow yourself to breathe in my hope, like a gentle breeze that revives your weary bones, and do not lose heart when the world fails to offer comfort, because my grace is sufficient in every circumstance. I am the one who walked the lonely road before you, and I give you my words of compassion so that you would know that you are not journeying through these trials alone. Step by step, I will restore your strength and infuse your spirit with the power to stand once more, gazing with eyes of faith toward the morning light that surely comes. I am your shield when adversity threatens to rob you of peace, and I stand as your stalwart defender, fighting the battles you cannot fight on your own, ensuring that no weapon formed against you shall prosper. Let your heart find calm in the shelter of my wings, knowing that in my kingdom you are guarded with an all-surpassing power that overshadows every scheme of the enemy. Open your heart to trust my protection, for I have already conquered the greatest storms on your behalf, and you have only to be still and witness my victory. Fear does not come from me, and so I break its chains that try to hold you captive, reminding you that you are safe in my presence, and no harm can befall your soul. Cling to the confidence that even if the seas roar and the mountains quake, I remain the unshakable rock beneath your feet, holding you secure through every trembling season. You need not strive to protect yourself through anxious thoughts, for I am the one who lifts a hedge around you, covering your life with my immeasurable favor. Trust in the plan I have for you, even when you cannot see the path ahead, for my ways are higher than your ways, and my wisdom sees beyond the horizon of your understanding. Believe that I orchestrate every detail with precision, working behind the scenes to bring about outcomes that will astound you and fill your heart with gratitude. Quiet your doubts and find rest in my unwavering faithfulness, for I am the guardian of your destiny and the Lord of every outcome. Listen closely, my child, and do not forget that I stand at the door of your heart, knocking, waiting for you to allow me in so I can fully reveal my goodness to you. I long for you to tell me every concern, from the smallest anxiety to the largest burden, and I promise that my ears will never grow tired of hearing your voice. Do not keep your worries locked within, for there is power in confessing them before me and letting my spirit wash away every fear, leaving behind peace that surpasses all understanding. Speak with me as you would speak to a dear friend, without pretense or fear of judgment, because my heart is open and my compassion knows no end. Approach me in the stillness of the night or in the busyness of the day, for I am always attentive to your call, ready to pour out my comforting presence. There is no secret you can hide from me, for I know you better than you know yourself, and I invite you to trust in my unwavering devotion. Let prayer become the bridge that connects your soul to my throne, and through each word you utter in faith, see how my spirit moves to bring clarity, direction, and miracles into the situations you entrust to me. You need not fear that your voice is too quiet or too uncertain, because I discern even the faintest whispers of your heart, weaving them into my perfect plan. Step forward in this intimate dialogue with me, for in that sacred space your burdens are lifted and your hope is renewed. Yes, I have wondrous things in store for you, marvels you have not yet imagined, and I excite my own heart by thinking of how I will bless you in the coming days. Let my promises stir you to dream bigger, to gaze upon tomorrow with anticipation instead of dread, believing that I am the author of new beginnings. Whenever despair tries to cloud your perspective, remember that I am at work, aligning circumstances, people, and resources to fulfill my divine plan for your life. Affirm within yourself that your present struggles are not permanent, and I shall transform your trials into testimonies that shine with the brilliance of my grace. Let each day be an opportunity to witness my hand of favor at work, orchestrating moments of hope that remind you of my unwavering commitment to your well-being. The seeds of faith you plant now will grow into a harvest of joy, so cling to the vision of my unstoppable goodness that is unfolding over every aspect of your journey. I will strengthen you, uplift you, and provide you with fresh courage to face each sunrise, for I walk beside you in the valley, and I lead you to the mountaintop of triumph. Embrace the future with confidence, for I have called you to be a beacon of light in a world that desperately needs my touch. Whenever fears whisper of failure, counter them with the voice of my Spirit, which declares that you are more than a conqueror through my everlasting love. My affection for you is timeless, an unbreakable bond that defies every boundary of space and time, because from the moment I shaped you in secret, I chose you to be mine. Remember this ultimate truth: my love does not waver based on your emotions, circumstances, or perceived weaknesses, for it is rooted in my very nature. Even when you stumble or lose sight of me, I remain faithful, always willing to guide you back to the path of my embrace. Never question the depths of my devotion, for I have already proven my love through the greatest sacrifice, and that love continues to flow toward you like a mighty river that can never be stopped. Whatever regrets you carry, lay them before me, and do not cling to guilt or shame, because I specialize in turning ashes into beauty and sorrow into celebration. Open your arms and let my compassion cradle you, quieting every fear with the sound of my unwavering presence. Even if the entire world should reject or misunderstand you, you will find ever-present acceptance in me, for my own heart is large enough to contain your joys, your pains, and your deepest longings. Cling to the assurance that you are profoundly treasured, and let no voice rob you of the confidence that I am for you, not against you. Whenever you need a reminder, simply gaze at the cross of redemption, a symbol that proclaims how far my love is willing to go to rescue you. I know how real the challenges of your everyday life can be, for I see the uncertainties of finances, the stress of relationships, and the exhaustion that creeps into your soul. Feel my comforting touch as I whisper that there is no mountain too steep for me to level, no giant too massive for me to defeat, and no desert too barren for me to spring forth living water in your midst. I take every bruise and transform it into a place of healing, letting my restorative power flow into the cracks and broken corners of your heart. Yes, I acknowledge that you grow weary sometimes, that you question if you can truly keep pressing forward when answers seem scarce and the road is unpaved. But hear me. My strength is made perfect in your weakness, and you do not have to rely solely on your own resources, because I promise to infuse you with fresh energy each day. Embrace my invitation to rest in me, for I will lighten the burden on your shoulders and cause you to rise on wings like eagles, soaring above the limitations you once thought insurmountable. Let your heart be comforted in knowing that I am not distant or indifferent, for my eyes never cease to watch over you, and my arms are always extended in readiness to lift you up. Regardless of how many times you have stumbled, each new day beckons with my mercies, which are as endless as the horizon, renewing your hope and fueling your spirit to take on tomorrow with boldness. Look for the subtle ways I am already at work, through kind words of a friend, a gentle breeze, or even a moment of unexpected peace, and realize that these are glimpses of my abiding care. You have been fashioned with divine intention, for I placed my fingerprints on your life, etching a blueprint for a purpose that only you can fulfill. Cease to compare yourself to others, for each of my children carries a unique design, a specific calling that cannot be replicated, and I delight in the way your soul reflects my creativity. If you ever doubt the reason for your existence, look to the cross, remember the sacrifice I made, and understand the priceless worth you carry in my sight. There is a journey marked out for you, a pathway only your feet can tread, illuminated by my word, which is a lamp to your feet and a light to your path. No matter how complex or twisted your route becomes, I remain by your side, speaking words of direction and clarity when you pause to listen. As you step out in faith, watch how my spirit aligns each piece of your life's puzzle, bringing order where there was chaos and shining light where darkness threatened to dwell. Embrace the seeds of talent and passion I planted in your heart, for they are not random sparks but purposeful indicators of the mission I have for you in this world. Let your gifts unfold, not for selfish gain, but to expand my kingdom by sharing hope, love, and grace with those who cross your path. Your destiny is intricately woven into my grand story, and when you partner with my plans, miracles begin to flow and lives are touched by my overwhelming mercy. I know that many days you look around at the struggles in your environment, uncertain how you can make a difference amidst such complexity and sorrow. But do not underestimate the power of a single act of kindness, a single prayer spoken in faith, or a single word of encouragement that echoes my heart. Even in your simplest gestures, my love can flow like a river, refreshing weary souls and sowing seeds that will sprout into transformation. Listen not to the voice that says you must accomplish grand feats by the world's standards, for in my kingdom, even the humblest offering is magnified when given with a willing heart. Remember the story of the widow's mite, a small coin, but to me, it was a treasure beyond price, because it was offered with pure devotion. So do not discount the everyday acts of mercy, empathy, or joy that you share, for I multiply them in ways you cannot yet perceive. Let your life be a living testimony of my compassion, shining forth in each interaction, so that those around you may sense my presence, even if they cannot name it. Through your gentleness and kindness, a spark of curiosity might ignite in another heart, leading them to seek me. In that precious moment, you become a vessel of my grace, a messenger of my endless pursuit of every soul, proving that no gesture is too small or insignificant in my eyes. Yes, I see you wrestling with disappointment when circumstances do not unfold as swiftly as you desire, or when the path toward your dreams seems paved with detours and roadblocks. Take heart, my beloved, for every delay has a purpose. Every closed door redirects you to something better aligned with my will for you, and every waiting season refines your character. Do not let frustration take root in your spirit, but instead let patience blossom, nurtured by the certainty that I orchestrate all things for ultimate good. I am the God who holds time in my hands, and though you may feel the clock ticking, I am never late, nor am I forgetful of your needs. Remember the stories of old, how I intervened at just the right moment for my people, providing manna in the wilderness, parting seas and calming storms. I will do the same for you as you yield your timeline to me, for I am the master weaver who sees the beginning and the end all at once. When the weight of waiting becomes heavy, step away from anxiety and enter the secret place of fellowship with me, letting my spirit soothe the raw edges of your impatience. In these moments, you will discover a deeper measure of faith, for it is often in the waiting that trust takes root and matures into unwavering confidence. Embrace the process, for I am shaping you, teaching you perseverance, and building your story into a brilliant tapestry that reveals my loving guidance from start to finish. Allow me to speak to your spirit concerning the relationships in your life, for I see the tension, the misunderstandings, and the longing for genuine connection. I am the restorer of hearts, the one who mends what is broken and pours out the oil of reconciliation upon fractured bonds. Let love and forgiveness take precedence over pride and retaliation. For I have called you to model my own humility and patience, reflecting my unconditional love to those around you. Even when you face the sting of betrayal or the ache of unresolved conflict, invite me into the center of it all, so I can breathe healing where bitterness threatens to grow. Choose to see others through my eyes, remembering that they too are precious to me, carrying their own burdens and scars. When you offer grace, you step into my flow of redemption, creating open doors for restoration to occur in the fullness of my timing. Keep praying for those who hurt you, keep listening with an empathetic heart, and keep hoping for reconciliation, because in my realm, no relationship is beyond repair. Your decision to love courageously can break down the barriers that keep hearts locked away in guilt and shame. Let me use you as an ambassador of my kindness, sowing seeds of unity in a world desperate for genuine care, so that others might recognize my hand in the gentleness of your words and actions. There will be moments when you are weary, and the discouragement grows thick around you, whispering that pressing on is futile, that giving up might be easier. But I, the Lord, insist that you endure, for I never designed you for defeat or discouragement to be your permanent home. When fatigue presses against your soul, run to me like a child running into the arms of a loving parent, and I will cradle you in my strength, renewing your energy to keep going. I have promised that those who hope in me shall renew their strength, mounting up with wings like eagles, soaring high above the trials that once pinned them down. This is not mere rhetoric. It is a statement of my unwavering truth, for my spirit in you is powerful, tenacious, and triumphant. Let my words be the steady drumbeat in your heart, reminding you that though you walk through the fire, you will not be burned, and though you pass through the waters, they will not sweep over you. Cling to the knowledge that I have gone before you, preparing the way, ensuring that no circumstance is left unaccounted for. The resources you need, whether emotional, physical, or spiritual, shall be provided at the precise moment they are required, for I do not send you into battle without equipping you. Let this assurance anchor your confidence as you keep walking, even when the path is unclear, trusting that my guiding hand is always upon you. I encourage you today. Guard your mind against voices of negativity and doubt, for they seek to disconnect you from my hope and scatter seeds of unbelief. Instead, feast on my promises. Let my words saturate your thoughts, until every fear that tries to lodge in your heart is chased away by the truth of who I am and who you are in me. Remember how I led the Israelites with a pillar of cloud by day and a pillar of fire by night, never leaving them without direction or assurance. In your moments of uncertainty, open my scriptures and let them speak volumes into your spirit, reminding you that my covenant is everlasting. Read about my faithfulness throughout generations, how I delivered my people from oppression and established them in a land flowing with milk and honey. That same faithfulness remains at work in you, weaving your narrative into a larger story of redemption, grace, and purpose. Practice meditating on my words day and night, letting them echo in your heart, so that when the storms rage, you remain unshaken. Your confidence must not rest on the shifting sands of circumstances, but on the bedrock of my unchanging nature. As you internalize my promises, watch how your perspective transforms, and how my boundless peace becomes a fortress that repels the arrows of hopelessness. Yes, I see the state of the world around you, the conflicts, the struggles, the injustices that weigh heavily on your heart, and I weep with you for the pain that blankets many. Yet I call you to remember that even in the darkest night, my light shines the brightest, and you are invited to be a carrier of that radiance, stepping into broken places with unwavering hope. Although you may feel small against such vast needs, my power is made perfect in your willingness to serve, to love, and to proclaim my goodness to those who are desperate. Do not be paralyzed by the magnitude of what you see, for I have not placed the entire burden of the world upon your shoulders. Instead, I ask you to be faithful in the sphere I have assigned you, to bloom in the field where I have planted you, and to reflect my mercy in every opportunity that arises. Each act of compassion, each prayer for the hurting, each word of comfort that you speak becomes part of a grander movement of my Spirit, transforming hearts one by one. When your heart breaks at the suffering around you, bring that grief to me. Let my heart beat in yours, fueling you with the compassion that propelled my Son to lay down his life for all. From that wellspring of divine empathy, let your actions flow, powered by the conviction that love never fails, and that my grace can shine in the darkest corners. Through you, I can reach people who otherwise might never open their hearts, so do not underestimate the difference you can make by simply being a reflection of my presence. At times, you might wrestle with guilt over past failures or missed opportunities, replaying regrets in your mind, wondering if you have forfeited my blessings. Hear me clearly. I am the God of second chances, indeed of infinite chances, for my mercy is renewed daily, and my forgiveness is never withheld from a contrite heart. The voice that condemns is not my voice, for I did not send my Son into the world to condemn it, but to save it, and that redemption is fully extended to you. Lay your failures at my feet. Invite me into those broken spaces, and see how I transform your darkest moments into testimonies of my grace. When shame tries to overshadow your identity, recall that my Son's blood speaks a better word, proclaiming freedom and restoration for you. I specialize in redeeming the seemingly irredeemable, turning your heartbreak into a platform for growth, your past sins into a demonstration of my transformative love. As you release your regrets into my hands, let hope blossom again, for I do not define you by your shortcomings, but by the destiny I designed for you. Let your heart be encouraged that you can learn from every stumble, becoming wiser, stronger, and more reliant on my guidance. Rejoice in the truth that I will never let you fall beyond my reach, and that I am forever committed to drawing you deeper into my fellowship. I urge you to celebrate the victories, both great and small, that I bring into your life, acknowledging that every good gift ultimately flows from my hand. Cultivate gratitude as a posture of worship, letting thanksgiving rise from the depths of your soul, for it reminds you of my constant activity on your behalf. When you open your mouth to praise, you align your heart with heaven's perspective, seeing blessings even in the midst of challenges. In gratitude, you release the fragrance of thanksgiving that not only pleases me, but also shifts your mindset from scarcity to abundance. Recall how I multiplied the loaves and fishes, turning a meager lunch into a feast for thousands. This same power works in your life today, turning your small offerings into overflow. Let your spirit sing my praises when you wake in the morning and when you rest at night, for as you do, my presence draws ever nearer, permeating every detail of your existence. Even on days when you struggle to find a reason to rejoice, remember that my love remains constant, and your breath alone is reason to worship. Allow those moments of worship to strengthen your faith, for they connect you to the eternal truth that I am your provider, your sustainer, and your reason to hope. With a heart full of gratitude, you stand prepared to receive even more of my blessings, for I delight in pouring out favor upon those who recognize me as the source of all that is good. Now, I remind you to come before me, never hesitating, for I am not a distant monarch, but a loving Father who cherishes every moment with you. Do not let formality or fear build walls between us, because my throne of grace is wide open, welcoming you to find refuge, counsel, and intimacy. When you whisper my name, I respond with joy, for your voice is precious to me, and I am attentive to every syllable you speak in earnest. Let trust be your guide as you approach me, trusting that I see every angle of your situation and hold solutions that exceed your imagination. You do not need to strive to impress me with eloquence or grand gestures, because I value authenticity more than polished words. Speak from your heart. Let your laughter, tears, questions, and even frustrations flow into my presence, for I can handle them all, and I will not turn you away. As you draw near, open your spiritual ears to receive the gentle whispers of my spirit, the quiet urgings that direct you toward wisdom and insight. There, in the secret place of communion, I will reveal my secrets, reminding you that you are an heir to my kingdom, and all that I have belongs to you in Christ. Embrace this truth and know that no earthly obstacle can eclipse the reality of my unstoppable love that is forever with you. In your moments of deepest reflection, pause to remember the cross, where my heart was laid bare and my ultimate gift of grace was poured out for humanity. This sacrifice was not in vain. It was for you, to reconcile you to my love and ensure that nothing could ever separate us again. Let your heart break and heal at the same time as you comprehend the depths of compassion that drove me to redeem you completely. Do not let the cross be a mere symbol or story from the past. Let it be the anchor of your present hope and the promise for your future. Through that act of unparalleled love, I canceled every accusation against you, liberating you to walk in the fullness of life I intended from the beginning. Whenever you question your worth or my affection, let your eyes return to that sacred scene, where I demonstrated that I would spare no cost to claim you as my own. Today, you stand in the freedom I provided, free to love me without reservation, free to worship without shame, and free to pursue the dreams I have planted within you. Embrace this liberty, for it is a treasure I offer you at the price of my own sacrifice. Let the cross be an everlasting reminder that you are cherished and that nothing in heaven or on earth can separate you from the love I have declared over your life. You might encounter moments where your faith wavers, where doubts creep in like shadows across your mind, wondering if I truly hear your prayers or if I really guide your steps. Know that I do not despise your questions, for I understand the frailty of human perception, and I invite you to bring those doubts to me rather than suppress them. In doing so, you allow my light to dispel every false assumption, unveiling a clearer picture of my unwavering faithfulness. Search the scriptures for stories of those who wrestled with doubt, from Thomas, who needed to see my scars, to Elijah, who felt abandoned in the wilderness. In each case, I showed myself faithful, revealing that even in the midst of confusion, I remain constant. So place your uncertainties in my hands. Observe how my truth answers your heart's deepest cries, and watch as your faith is refined through honest seeking. Let the seeds of curiosity lead you deeper into my word and my presence, for it is there that you will find the clarity your soul yearns for. As you do, your faith will transition from a shallow pool to a deep reservoir, firmly anchored in experience, testimony, and the unchanging promises of my character. Remember, I am not threatened by your questions. Rather, I use them to draw you closer to the heartbeat of my divine reality. I celebrate when you stand up for righteousness, when you show compassion to the marginalized, and when you speak truth even when it is unpopular. These choices are not always easy, and they may cost you something in the eyes of the world, yet be encouraged that I see your integrity and honor it. Though you may sometimes feel isolated for upholding my standards, I assure you that I am with you, infusing you with courage and resilience. Carry the lamp of truth in your sphere of influence, illuminating grace and mercy so that others may find their way to my arms. Remember, Your actions often speak louder than your words, and through simple kindness, gentle forgiveness, and humble patience, you preach a sermon more profound than any spoken message could achieve. Do not underestimate the ripple effect of your faithfulness, for each choice to reflect my heart transforms the atmosphere around you. When the world questions your reasons for living differently, stand firm, knowing that your foundation rests on the cornerstone of my Son's love. You do not have to defend yourself harshly or argue with hostility. Let your life be the evidence of my transformation in you. In the end, my truth prevails, and you will see how your quiet, consistent testimony influences hearts that once seemed unreachable. Even now, my hand is upon you, orchestrating encounters and opening opportunities that lead you toward the fulfillment of the purpose I have whispered into your heart. No detail escapes my notice, from the people you meet to the situations that challenge your creativity and persistence. Trust that each moment, whether triumphant or troublesome, is woven into a larger plan, forming the tapestry of your life that will one day shine with the brilliance of my redemption. Choose obedience even in the small things, for a willing heart is the soil in which mighty works of my Spirit are sown. Obedience to my prompting releases blessings that you cannot contain, as you align yourself more intimately with my heart and my way. When your flesh resists, or when human logic conflicts with the leading of my Spirit, remember that I see the bigger picture, and my ways are established upon eternal wisdom. Rejoice when you see my fingerprints in unexpected places, be it in a chance meeting or a sudden solution to a problem that once seemed insurmountable. Acknowledge my guidance with gratitude, for it is in that acknowledgement that you sharpen your ability to discern my voice in all circumstances. Over time, you will grow more attuned to the subtle movements of my Spirit, recognizing that I am always speaking, always leading, and always delighting in your trust. I also call you to rest, for even as you labor in the tasks set before you, I designed your mind, body, and soul to pause and be refreshed in my presence. Sabbath is not merely a command, but a gift, a time where you set aside your striving to simply exist in the warmth of my love. When you quiet your busy heart and lay down your burdens, you make space to hear my voice more clearly, receiving new insights and the renewal your soul craves. Do not be ashamed to seek moments of solitude with me, even if the world pressures you to always be accomplishing, producing, or performing. I created you with limits, and I honor those who recognize that genuine strength comes from abiding in my stillness. In the hush of rest, I pour back into you the peace and assurance that gets drained by the demands of daily life, filling you once again with vision and hope. Guard your heart against the spirit of relentless busyness, for it often drowns out the gentle leading of my Spirit. Embrace times of quiet reflection, walk in nature, or simply be still and know that I am God. In that sacred pause, your perspective will shift from the temporary worries of life to the eternal reality of my unwavering presence, renewing your spirit for the next steps ahead. There are treasures in adversity that you might never discover if you had lived a life free from trials, for hardship often refines your character and draws you nearer to me. I do not delight in your suffering, but I see beyond the pain to the growth, empathy, and humility that blossom through the fire of affliction. When you look back, you will recognize how I used even the darkest nights to shine the brightest revelation of my love. Sorrow, disappointment, and struggle can become the soil where the fruit of perseverance and resilience takes root, enabling you to minister to others with genuine compassion. In your weakness, my power is showcased, leading others to marvel at the strength you display, which is, in truth, my strength pouring through you. You become a beacon of encouragement, showing through your testimony that no season of suffering is devoid of my redemptive hand. Embrace this understanding, so that rather than running from trials, you face them with the confidence that I walk beside you. Lift your eyes to the hills from where your help comes, for I am the Lord who is mighty to save, and I specialize in making a way where there seems to be no way. Let every challenge be a fresh opportunity to declare my sovereignty, standing secure in the knowledge that I am with you always, working all things for good. My precious child, I urge you to cast your cares upon me, for I truly care for you with a devoted love that outlasts the mountains. When anxieties arise, breathe deeply and lay them down in the quiet trust that my shoulders are broad enough to carry all that burdens you. As you surrender, you create space in your heart for my peace, which surpasses human reasoning and stands guard over your emotions. You never have to walk alone, for even if others fail you or distance themselves, I remain your steadfast companion, never leaving nor forsaking you. Look for my presence in simple daily blessings, for I often speak through gentle reminders, a song that stirs your spirit, a sunset that captures your awe, or a friend's kind gesture. Recognize these as tokens of my affection, strategically placed to keep your heart tethered to the reality of my nearness. Whenever you feel overwhelmed, lean into my embrace and remember that I hold the galaxies in place, so surely I can sustain you through every hardship. Let this assurance encourage you to relinquish the illusion of control, yielding instead to my capable hands. In that humility, you will find a confidence that is unshakable, born not of your own strength, but of my boundless capacity to protect, provide, and guide. Know that I have inscribed you on the palms of my hands, that your name is ever before me, and that I consider you a priceless treasure worthy of all my devotion. You are not a random creation, nor are you forgotten, but you stand as a living testament of my intricate design, fashioned in my likeness. Let this truth reshape any distorted image you hold of yourself, for you reflect my beauty in a unique way that adds dimension to the symphony of humanity. I rejoice in your laughter, celebrate your milestones, and weep alongside your sorrows, for my heart is intricately linked to yours. Believe that my intentions for you are good, rooted in eternal love and aimed at drawing you into deeper fellowship with me and with those I place in your life. Stand tall in the certainty that you carry the breath of my spirit within you, animating your thoughts, your gifts, and your capacity to love others selflessly. If ever you question your significance, remember that I left 99 to find the one lost sheep, demonstrating that you individually are invaluable to me. Let go of any sense of unworthiness that tries to take hold, for my son's sacrifice was sufficient to prove your worth beyond measure. Embrace the truth that I clothe you with garments of praise, removing every tattered rag of shame, clothing you in the radiant splendor of my redemption. As you draw nearer to the conclusion of this sacred communion with me, know that my love remains steadfast and immovable, transcending each passing day. I do not waver or grow weary, and I never cease watching over you, guiding your steps toward the future I have prepared. Open your heart to my gentle nudges, for I long to lead you into green pastures of peace, where your soul finds rest and your spirit finds delight. I bless you with renewed vision, with a revelation of my kindness that dispels every fear and draws you into deeper trust. Let your dreams be reignited, your faith be emboldened, and your heart be filled with expectancy for what lies ahead. Cling to me as your source, knowing that even when people fail or circumstances shift, my unwavering faithfulness stands as your anchor through every tempest. Walk forward, child of mine, in the assurance that my hand is upon your life, leading you through every valley, lifting you to every mountaintop, and never letting go. Let peace reign in your heart, for I have left my own peace with you, a peace that surpasses all worldly understanding. Rejoice in the knowledge that the road ahead is paved with my promises, and I will bring each one to fruition in my perfect time. I remind you that my love for you remains the same yesterday, today, and forever, an infinite wellspring that cannot run dry. Let this promise of perpetual adoration sustain you when doubt creeps in, for I have declared you worthy of my constant devotion. Rest in my arms, feel the beat of my heart, and know that you are never isolated or abandoned, because I have stamped my identity upon you for all eternity. Trust me when I say that nothing can separate you from my everlasting bond of love, for I have erased the power of condemnation and replaced it with the liberation of my grace. As you move forward, let this truth shine in your countenance, for you carry the mark of my Spirit, a flame that cannot be extinguished. Even in your quietest moments, when no one else applauds or notices, I celebrate who you are, reminding you that your name is forever graven on my heart. You are precious to me, chosen and set apart to reflect my goodness in a world yearning for hope. Never doubt that I stand with you in every season, for my word is unbreakable, and my covenant is sealed with the promise of my unwavering presence. Receive my love as an abundant gift, letting it shape your words, guide your actions, and shine through your eyes, knowing that I am all you truly need, both now and for all time. Now, with words of final assurance, I declare my steadfast blessing upon you and your loved ones, decreeing that my favor will watch over you like a vigilant guardian day and night. Let your faith blossom with anticipation, ready to witness the miracles I have in store, as I open windows of opportunity and bring forth unexpected avenues of grace. I invite you to walk in boldness, with your head held high, confident in my promises and certain of my faithful character. May the roads you travel be guided by my Spirit, the plans you make be blessed by my hand, and the dreams you harbor be ignited by my power. I have designated you a lighthouse in the darkness, a voice of compassion to the hurting, and a beacon of hope to the lost, ensuring that you will never lack purpose or direction. Take my peace with you, hold it close to your heart, and allow it to overflow into every interaction, every decision, every new day you embrace. Look forward, my beloved, for the horizon glows with the dawn of my unending mercy, carrying the promise of new beginnings that will surpass your highest expectations. Step into each moment with unwavering assurance that you walk under the shelter of my wings, accompanied by the melody of heaven's favor. The best is yet to come, and as you hold on to my unchanging hand, you will see how profoundly my love shapes your destiny and brings you into unimaginable joy. I send you forward with a divine directive. Remain steadfast in hope, for I have authored your story with precision, and every chapter unfolds at the opportune time under my perfect watch. Even as challenges rise, know that I fashion miracles from the dust, crafting new beginnings where human logic sees only endings. Let your heart swell with anticipation, for I delight in surpassing your wildest dreams, orchestrating blessings that both comfort your soul and illuminate the path for those still searching in darkness. I declare over you a season of refreshing, a sacred renewal of vision and purpose that will cause you to stand upon the high places of possibility. Embrace the transformation I stir within you, for my power at work in your spirit is far greater than any obstacle that dares to oppose you. Seek me with unquenchable passion, for in my presence you are made whole, and I anoint you to carry the fragrance of heaven into every corner of your daily life. Be bold, my beloved, and do not shrink back from the glorious destiny I have prepared. Take courage when doubts whisper in your ear, reminding yourself that I am the eternal foundation beneath your feet, immovable and unbreakable. Remember how I sustained the faithful of ages past, guiding them through deserts, battles, and persecutions, always revealing my covenant faithfulness in miraculous ways. You stand in that same lineage of promise, so do not question whether I will uphold you, for my character remains the same, merciful, just, and entirely for you. The world may shift and quake, but my promises do not waver, and my devotion to you stands firm, anchored in an unshakable vow of love. Consider how a potter continues shaping the clay, gently molding it to reflect the vision in his mind. So too do I shape your character, applying gentle pressure where needed, until you become the masterpiece I always intended. Do not resist my hand, but yield in trust, for I see the fullness of who you are and who you are becoming. Even now, as you read these words, I dispatch angels to surround you, to protect your home, your family, and your endeavors, ensuring that you walk unencumbered by the attacks of discouragement or defeat. Rejoice in this safeguard, and rest your mind from the weight of fear, for I have commanded my heavenly host to uphold you when life's storms threaten your peace. Lean on this reality, letting gratitude rise and chase away every lurking shadow of despair, for my might is your mighty fortress. Draw near to me in worship, in the intimate moments where your soul breathes in my nearness and exhales all the clutter of worldly concerns. In that sacred communion, my spirit fans the embers of your passion, reigniting the flames of faith that the winds of adversity tried to snuff out. Let every heartbeat echo your devotion, testifying that I am the center of your being, the anchor that keeps you securely moored in the swirling tides of circumstance. Never believe the lie that it is too late for dreams long buried, for my specialty is resurrecting what was thought dead and giving beauty for ashes. I redeem time itself, causing past seasons of struggle to birth an even greater harvest of blessing and testimony. Honor me by shaking off cynicism and stepping again into that place of childlike wonder, where you trust me with every aspiration, no matter how improbable it seems to human reasoning. I impart to you a fresh anointing, an empowerment to walk in authority, to speak life where there is chaos, and to declare my truths over every situation. With this spiritual equipping, you will see shifts in your environment, breakthroughs in relationships, and doors opening that were once sealed. Fear not, for I am the one orchestrating this movement, and I delight in watching you partner with my plan, releasing my kingdom on earth as it is in heaven. Go forth in confidence, my beloved, for you carry my name upon your heart and my word upon your lips, a living testimony of redemption. Let your life shine so brightly that those who wander in uncertainty are drawn to the light of hope you carry, eager to discover the source of your unwavering peace. And as you step into each new horizon, remember my pledge to stand beside you, to hold you steady, and to guide you unerringly toward the radiant future I have ordained for you.